With the new phase of Legacy of the Void, we'll see how he's coped with the changes, and the game has loaded up, guys, so let's get into Orbital Shipyard for game number 1 here between these two players. And spawning down in the bottom left, we have our orange Zerg. It is TMK.
And in the top right, choosing the best color, this is the purple Terran, Jabito.
Alright, so a little bit of a closer matchup this time, so I'm kind of interested to see where this mid game is going to go here for both players. I'm going to give the edge to Jabito, just of course being that veteran player. But yeah, I'd like to see what Emperor is going to bring to the table after bowing out to him during the qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, at least having gone up against him earlier on, you get a bit of an idea. So if he's the sort of player that likes to prepare before a tournament match, you know, could certainly come up with a couple of things that could really exploit any holes in Jabito's play that he learned about through that qualifier match. But I kind of feel like TMK, as a lot of the players that we've casted throughout this tournament so far, they kind of come in like, you know what, it's Legacy of the Void, there's patches every other week, you know, things are constantly changing. They just kind of go with the flow a lot of the time, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see what he comes up with. I'm kind of hoping Jabito will go for some Liberators, just a little bit, because we haven't really seen much of the Liberators yet. I'm
really hoping we get to tier 3 actually here from TMK. Because I really want to see this new Ghost ability and see what it's capable of. That's steady aim, or I think it is. And it's a 3-second channel, but it deals 170 damage, which is awesome for taking out stuff like Ultras, Broodlords, I don't know, anything around that level of unit there for the Zerg.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty juicy as well. Like, I'm a little sad we haven't seen a little bit more of the new Terran mech units in these games. It's been pretty much bio, really, like bio tank. Haven't even seen anyone really dare to go Hellbats or anything like that, so they're really sticking to the basics, but perhaps Jabito will switch it up. I think the most Legacy of the Voidy thing we've seen is tank drops, so I wouldn't complain if we saw that again either, because it's always fun to watch someone be really, really annoying to Zerg with a siege drop.
Yeah, and I think the most kind of Zerg Legacy of the Void thing we saw was Ender versus Dome on Terraform, where he went for that really crazy like Lurker Ling Overlord drop going into the main. That was pretty cool. I mean, obviously you don't have to get that research anymore for Ventral Sack, you just morph a few Overlords, but just have Lurkers in the mix to hold down the bio while the Lings run rampant. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, I love the drop play thing. I'm actually surprised more Zergs haven't been using it in the matches that we've seen, because it's really strong and it catches your opponent off guard so often, because like, who's expecting Zerg drops? You know, you're expecting Warp Prisms for Protoss. From Terran, you're always expecting drops. But from Zerg, you know, people are still getting used to that idea, so I think it can be very strong.
Yeah, and Jabito looking to go for those tank drops by the look of things here, and last time I saw him put these to use, he just wasted a player just with the one tank.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Well, first tank's out, Medevac's on the way. Will he be able to get much done against his opponent?
Yeah, well, his opponent is going for the right kind of build here, the 2-base Muto. All he has to do is use his Queens and Lings to hold off that first tank, but there's a lot of spots this tank can drop and sit in some really awkward spots with the high ground vision from that Medivac. But once he gets those mutas out, man, that's a really big investment that Jabito's put his money into. Yeah,
for sure. And you really don't want to get caught with your pants down against quick mutas, because, you know, look at how many Marines he has. He'll have a few more by the time the mutas actually hit. But, you know, without stim and that kind of stuff, they're still pretty slow. It's a bit hard to jump between your bases and cover all your add-ons and all that good stuff as well. So with a nice scout from Emperor, he's actually going to head out with some Lings, perhaps at the slightly wrong time, but with Queens and Aspire almost finishing, he should be able to defend. He can, in fact, turn around the reinforcements. And we'll maybe try and start getting this Medevac out of the sky so this stops harassing him. In fact, he brings all his Lings back home.
This Queen on the low ground, he wasn't expecting that one, Jabito. He's got to be careful here with this Medivac. It is starting to get low, and I believe There was another Medivac and tank ready to go back at home. Let's see if he brings that one across the map as well here.
Yeah, looks like he's just chilling for the moment. That Medvac's taking quite a bit of hull damage, so he needs to be a bit careful with it. Unfortunately for the Queen, it can't really reach much further because he just drops it under that ledge and then he just gets free damage on everything. But so far, so good. I mean, Emperor hasn't lost too much.
Oh, man.
Those 2 creep tumors were nice, though.
Yep. Oh, man. Jabito's getting away with so much here with this tank drop, and he's bought a fair bit of time here. The mutas are now trying to hunt down the siege tank, and back at home, he's gone up to a bunch of barracks. He's got widow mines. He doesn't have an engineering... Oh, actually, no, he does have his engineering base, so he can go for his turrets, and because he knows the mutas are out, he can go for those turrets to help him out at his mineral lines. The Lings come across the map to try and help out here as well, but he will be locked out.
Yeah, I think the best you could hope for here is denying the 3rd base. And as he comes in with the Lings, he can probably engage those Marines once the extra mutas all group up. But with the Widow Mines there, it's a little bit risky. He wants to make sure he's got the Overlord speed and the Overseer with him before he starts doing things like that. Otherwise, he runs the risk of taking a few hits. But yeah, he's taken a very weird 3rd base.
Yeah, and he immediately took his 4th base out at the front too, so a bit of a double expand off the 2-base muta play here from TMK, of course. But back at home here for Jabito, he's quite comfortable on his 3 bases, adding on extra infrastructure as well, +1 almost done for him, whereas the upgrades here from TMK just haven't started yet.
Yeah, not quite, and that's going to be really nice timing for Jabito if he wants to start to put on a bit of pressure or start getting some drops rolling or something like that. Gives him a bit of an advantage in the upgrade area. In the meantime, TMK is heading into Infestation Pit. His 3rd and 4th are finishing up. So he's probably looking to power drones from here on out because he did lose a bit of macroing time while he was fending against the siege drops. And all those Lings he made as well to attack with ended up being a defensive tool instead. So as a result, we've got 65 SCVs, 246 drones. Certainly not the position you want to be in.
No, not at all. And the interesting thing about that sorry, Infestation Pit is that ghost buff to infestors. As if you guys have been keeping up with the Reddit and other subscribe to Fender's YouTube channel, he was having a bit of fun there with that neuroparasite buff. I believe it's gone back to its old range of 9, and that is quite cool.
Yeah, it does some really juicy damage. So yeah, we'll see if that comes into the battlefield at all. That will definitely be interesting to check out. But for the moment, just got to really just TMK being a bit defensive while he gets his economy where he wants it to be. Jabito looks like he's trying to start some drops going, but nice map awareness from TMK does clean that up. The crease thread's starting to push out a little bit as well, which is going to be really handy, especially for holding that far left 3rd base that he took. Because he really doesn't have a lot of vision around there, so he needs to be able to get there quickly if something happens to pop by that hatchery for a visit. Yeah,
the pressure is starting to head over that way, but it looks like TMK wants to catch him in the middle of the map here. The tanks are out, but there's nothing to support him just yet, and a big wraparound on those tanks straight away. But he's going to be able to get under those muta and do maximum damage as well. But, man, those Banelings got awesome hits off there, and he's cleaned up pretty much most of the army there. Widowmine doesn't even get it shot off either. But some Medivacs there for those Marines will get a little bit of extra damage, and that was a nice engagement there from TMK off creep.
Yep, and he's going to keep flooding forward, taking out as many medevacs as he can. And now he's over the production, so any Marines popping out can get taken out very quickly. There's one missile turret here that's going to help over that production line. He needs to be able to take those out if he wants to do further damage, but he's continuing to come in here trying to get a bit more done. Needs to be careful though, because I'm worried he's going to start losing a lot of mutas. Yeah, there are still tanks on the ground here, so these reinforcing links, gotta be careful when they come charging in. They're gonna get melted down there. Rotor tanking at the front. But Thor is about to pop out here as well, I believe, somewhere here for Jabito. I can't quite see it on the field. Where is it hiding? It's on the ramp there, so it's in a nice spot. The mutas have been cleaned up, and that was a bit of an overstayed welcome there for TMK. Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually worth it losing that many mutas. He's still got 9 on the field. He's committing a lot to those mutas as well with the 1-1 upgrades. 22 lings on the ground as well, and his economy is starting to look a little bit beefier. Hive is finished grabbing ultras as well, but he really doesn't have the gas for ultras. He's going to need another base. He needs to get mining on that 3rd base with the gas as well. if he wants to be able to fund that. So perhaps a bit wasteful with those mutas, certainly overstaying his welcome on that production line.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ultra upgrade is all good and well, but he hasn't really been upgrading his other units either, so is that only just starting his 2-2 for his ground at the moment? So those Ultras aren't going to be as scary as they can be, and this big Terran force pushing across the map looking very terrifying here for TMK.
Oh, and this is about the least opportune time for it to happen, but Emperor, or TMK rather, is actually supply blocked right now as well. So his reinforcements are going to have to wait, and he's just going to have to give up this base. He migrates those drones elsewhere, because he knows he cannot hold it. He also cannot afford to be losing drones or replacing them at this stage in the game. Jabito picks that off and just heads back out to reposition.
Yep, and he's coming up, clearing out the creep at the front here, but he's got so much. He's even got tanks to help him out here with this push. Ultras are on the way, but there's going to be some weak Ultras to start off here, and there's just more and more reinforcements coming across the map here for Jabito here, of course, moving his tanks forward with that tank drop ability, or the newfound technique of it, but PP coming out here from TMK. Might be having a bit of lag issues.
Yes, I hope not. There have been a couple here and there from the players in these matches. Not everyone has the greatest ping to the Legacy of the Void service, sadly, but yeah, so we might just need a moment here while he fixes that up. But I gotta say, in this game, it's looking pretty dire so far for TMK. Like, at this stage, when the Terran army is right out the front of your base and you're struggling to get your Ultras out, I guess it's worth noting as well that +2 Carapace and the Ultra armor isn't finished yet either, so those Ultras are going to be a little bit squishy.
Yeah, these Thors are about to have +1 attack, even with the tanks there as well, with their +1 attack. It's going to be, oh man, they're going to be dealing so much damage with those Ultralisks. And then 2-2, not too far away here from the bio either, and this pressure coming out into the 4th base here of TMK, it's looking quite rough. And looking back on the economy behind this for Jabito, he's on 4 bases. His main base basically is mined out, but I mean, he's expanding at the right times, of course, and he's just having a bit of trouble here. Unfortunately for TMK, the internet not looking good.
Yeah, it's a bit rough, especially in a tournament. Like, right now is when you'd want to be able to control perfectly, right? Because he's trying to take out a pretty scary looking Terran army. But what can you do? I guess it happens. So hopefully it recovers. Maybe we'll take a quick break while he sorts this out, and we'll hop back in as soon as he fixes it up and get back into the game.
Yep, that sounds like a good plan. So we'll be back, guys, once... Alright, TMK is just testing his ping. Let's see if he's right.
Give me 1 sec.
Come on,
we'll figure out if we need to go to a break or not, so we don't talk your ear off about nothing for like 5 minutes.
Alright, yeah, we'll go to that break, so we'll be back soon, guys.
Never mind. Fixed it as soon as we went to the break. That's always the way.
Yeah.
But better to do that rather than have you guys waiting for 5 minutes for what looks to be possibly the final push of the game.
Yeah, this Terran army is well spread. Ultras coming down to help out, but those tanks actually aren't sieged in the background. The Ultras get right on top of that. The Banes get really good connections, but it might just be in vain. A big reinforcement of Bio coming in the back, absolutely pelting those Ultras down, and this pressure is still mounting here from Jabito.
Yeah, all the meters engaging on Marines there, and they do go down. GG from TMK. Jabito go up 1-0 in this series.
Yeah.
Against the Philippines. Oh man, I don't know. Jabito looked pretty strong there. It was a longer game, but his macro seemed a little bit more solid.
Yeah, of course. TMK, like, felt like he had the right idea, of course, going with the Mutalists there, but he just couldn't really find the damage that he would like to have properly. If he just didn't go for that tank and went straight across the map, there would have been no turrets in any of those mineral lines, because we only saw Jabito throw this down after the Mutalist killed his tank and medevac on the left hand side.
Yeah, I think I like the sort of meter style that TMK was trying there, because you know you come out with a whole bunch of meters, you try and poke in. There's a lot of airspace on that map. You're trying to pick off whatever you can and keep him at home. But I think parking over the racks like he did ended up being a big mistake. You know, it's fine to sit there for a little bit, but when you start taking a lot of damage, best to head out, because I think he must have lost like 12 to 14 meters to that. Yeah, it was a good chunk, and that's a big gas investment as well. So, not to worry, we'll be heading into a second game very shortly.
Yeah, Moonlight Madness, and this was the map that Jabito just put the hurdle with tank drops, because there's just so many little cheeky spots on this map. There's a lot more than there was on our previous map.
Yeah, that's for sure. I remember Moonlight Madness, like when it first hit the map pool as well, that the first time I saw someone do the siege tank on top, and it was just like a usual, you know, a good old HOTS siege tank drop up there, and it was just, I remember, I can't remember who I was casting with, but we were just like, what is he doing? Because all it can hit into the main is the extractor, but it turned out to be the biggest thorn in the Zerg side I'd ever seen, so it was actually a really cool strat. So goodness knows how annoying it's going to be now that we actually have sieged up tank drops.
Of course. And here we go, guys. The game 2 has loaded up. We're here on Moonlight Madness, and spawning down in the bottom left we have the Filipino Terran. It is Jabito.
And in the top right, this is the Teal Zerg. He's down 1 in the series. Can he bring it back? This is TMK.
Alright. So yeah, I'm interested to see if Jabito does use that same tactic. I mean, yeah, there is that drop spot there on the left-hand side of the main, and then like you can even, when you bring the second one across, you just drop it down in front of that ledge as well. And it's just like, oh, if it stakes a bit of pressure, you just pick it up, and the one on the high ground, or sorry, on that ledge there, is still firing away. And it's just a huge annoyance.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, actually. You can start to leapfrog in a little bit and be super annoying, start hitting those workers on the mineral line. So it's kind of like the most obvious move on this map, I feel like. It's like as if you wouldn't use that ledge if you're a Terran. But you know, similarly, Jabito could be thinking like, no, I want to do a different strat, or maybe that's too obvious and he'll be ready for it. We'll see what he throws out here, though. Just considering how well the last game went for him, though, I really wouldn't be surprised to see him do it again.
Sumi Warrior, mate. I'm not sure if... I'm pretty sure I can take that as a compliment, me looking 15 years old. It makes me look young, I'm pretty sure, so that's 8 years younger than I am now, so I'm happy looking young, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were 12-year-old boys earlier as well. So.
Oh, wow.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
King. Even younger, man. Is that a sign of me living even longer?
Maybe. Maybe. At least when you're like 40, you'll look like 20, right?
That's the dream.
Yeah.
All right.
Reaper's come out here from Jabito. I'm gonna head in here, see if you can make TMK pay the Reaper tax.
Ooh, looks like we're having a bit of a timeout here from Jabito, and a bit of a net switch issue there. Last game it was TMK, this round looking like Jabito, unfortunately.
Yeah. Please don't do it. Gosh darn it. The internet's so annoying today. We've had stream drops, now players are lagging. It's not cool, man. We just want some games. Want some Starcraft. Hopefully you can recover here. We'll regame if we need to. Or just, you know, take a quick break while they sort it out. Because obviously it's not going to... We don't want him to have to forfeit or anything like that.
Oh, of course. And with that timer still going down, it doesn't look good.
Yes. Alright.
Oh, he's back. He made it.
Minute. Dream is alive. Hopefully that's the last lag spike.
Okay. Okay,
I
now
like
you
how
can
he goes
control.
back into it like nothing ever happened to him. He's like, yeah, it's micro,
That's fine with
no
it.
problem.
Yep. Trying to catch out whatever he can. Some drones trying to transfer here that he can go for. He's got his bomb available again on those. Oh, it knocks himself back into the queen. But he's having a bit of a play around. There is a drone not working there in the middle line, so a little bit of damage done there. I guess the economy of TMK. But nothing to write home about, as the Reaper does just kind of chill itself up on that high ground.
Yeah, he's just going to heal up, maybe come in again later, have a look-see at what TMK might be doing. What he wants to see, of course, is that sneaky lair that's coming up very quickly once again. Speed is not too far off finishing, though, so I don't think he'll actually be able to get in there. I mean, if he goes now, he might be able to. Will he actually make it in? And he does. So he will see the lair. Okay, very nice. Last minute.
Yeah, very good scout there, and he's even going to get out of here. Oh, if he launches the lings at himself, though. Oh, no, he got caught out. The lings coming up from the natural. Oh. But that's a lot of lings with speed about to head across the map here for TMK, and there's not really a wall off in the natural just yet, but Jabito, privy to this, and throws down a engineering bay, and that is a good choice, but TMK actually just kind of pulled back.
Yeah, I feel like TMK's plan here is try and make a bunch of lings early on and punish your opponent for not having stuff out. Because, you know, you'll often see the Terrans sit there with a bunker 4 Marines against a bunch of lings, like TMK has out. It's actually not a lot. You can force the lift on the natural and be really, really annoying. Sadly, both times now, though, he's been scouted doing it. Oh, okay. Never mind. He's actually going to go for the good old Nidus.
He's got himself a good spot here where the vision of the Terran is nil. And if he can get away with it, it's going to be really nice. But first he's got to deal with this tank drop that's coming across the map already.
Yeah. Now last time this made him turn completely around with all his army. And he can't really afford to do that with the Nidus. I think he really just has to go for it. Queens can deal with this, no problem. Once he gets to the units in the actual base. And here we go. The Nidus is now building. He hasn't seen it though. Jabito doesn't have vision of it, I don't think, at all. Oh, he does actually, just barely.
Yeah, but he doesn't know about it, and it is going to finish with no problem. And the lings are just going to flood into the main here of Jabito, and there's nothing really at home. There's a tank on the high ground, but it's not sieged, and he's coming home with that tank.
Oh man, Queens are out here as well, so it's going to be really hard to kill that Nidus. He can actually start spreading creep in here as well if he wants.
Yeah, that's so many Queens here.
So much damage. Oh man, the main is his for the taking. Great strat from Emperor.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to steal one back on this series. The command center didn't get lifted and it goes down here. That is a huge misplay there by Jabito. Now the starport is under fire and he's going to try and fix this one down, but he doesn't want to take too many hits from the tank, of course. But back home, he needs to go and deal with this tank that's been wrecking over there as well. He has pulled the drones away, so he is kind of safe for that regard. But this tank's still being annoying here. Jabito is focusing mainly on that at the moment, and this starport is kind of getting saved by the one SCV repairing it at the moment.
Yeah, I think Jabito, if he like drops the CC right now, because he's got too much money that he can't spend, that'll really help him start to recover here. He's going for the starport first though. This tank drop is still alive. This tank, it has only 7 kills surprisingly, so he's getting a little bit done. A lot of lost mining time though, because TMK has pulled off the mineral line, so they're trading blows. TMK certainly got the better end of the deal so far though, and does the medevac go down? It does.
Oh, there's a lot of lings put up here on the right side of the map that came out of that Nidus network, and he's going to find this third base down here, so the lings that are over here on the right hand side will eventually, they're having party time in the corner here. But they'll rejoin the comrades down here at this third base eventually. Hopefully he catches onto this, because this is a lot of lings that he could be using right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's pretty much locked Jabito out of his main base already. Nidus finally goes down there as the Queens are out of the way and cannot transfuse. I'm not sure if this is quite enough Marines to take that out just yet, at least this half. Needs to be a bit careful. He's starting to use the siege tank drop micro once again to try and help him clear this up. And I gotta say, so far he's actually been quite impressive with that.
Yeah, man, if you had those lings on the high ground, you would have been able to take this fight pretty well, actually, and just kind of chill. I'm guessing he's going to use them a little bit later and see what they can do. But Spire coming down to follow this up. No third base just yet here from Emperor, and he hasn't retaken that gas there on the top left. Well, hasn't started mining from it, but here come those lings once again, trying to see what they can get done.
Yeah, he's looking for the third base. He sees that there's nothing, so he's going to head for the main again. These Marines getting surrounded. He needs to drop that siege tank. In fact, he's already in siege tank fire range. So So we'll be able to clean up these Lings, but at the cost of that chunk of Marines.
And the siege tank taking down its buddy there with a tank shot. A little bit unfortunate there for Jabito, but that was some nice damage, but it ended up, it's kind of being even. I say because they're both on 2 bases. Terran are kind of happy to be on 2 bases, and the 3rd base only just coming down here for Emperor, and he's going into mutas now, which is a good spot for him, but there's already a lot of barracks in the field and a lot of Marines here to help against this muta play.
Yeah, certainly. Not a lot of air support though, so those Marines are a little bit squishy. He's going to go for a drop, so that might be able to help him get some stuff done. And with this second NG bay finishing up as well, he can start to get some turrets, but the mutas may be able to do a bit of damage before that actually happens, especially with these extra Lings coming across the map now too. Can be a bit of a distraction. No!
Jabito.
Insano, make it stop. It's not fair.
I can't donate him internet, unfortunately.
Alright, looks like we're good again. Hopefully it's good again, because it's not what you want to happen when you're trying to do a drop and defend against some pesky Lings and mutas heading across the map. And there's that +1 attack again, so I would not be surprised to see a big clump of mutas come out from TMK yet again.
Yeah, and all the units for TMK are out here across the map, and this drop on this 3rd base is looking quite good here for Jabito. Looks like he should be able to get a cancel, because no reaction just yet. Everything coming back now here for TMK. No, he's going to go for the attack and just let this 3rd base be. No, he's being a little bit indecisive here, but he is going to go home and clean this up, but not before he loses his base.
Yeah, a bit rough to lose that as well, because the Marines don't even have stim yet, so really they just stood there and shot at it, and he got out for, you know, not too much cost to himself. Fortunately, he does lose the medevac and those Marines, but, you know, delaying the 3rd base is really going to help, because it means that it's longer before TMK can catch back up. It's 40 turns to 39 SCVs, so all in all, Jabito is actually slightly ahead in terms of the economy, at least.
Especially with those mules, and then of course turrets coming down to help out against these mules. His mineral lines are going to be a little bit safer this time around, but he's actually heading out onto the map once again.
Yeah, he sure is. He's looking for a push. And at the same time, the Zerg army is actually swinging around from behind. There is a block off with those rocks though, and it looks like the Zerg is going to turn around, try and maybe catch the back end of this army. Could certainly pick off reinforcements. Does Jabito have actually enough out on the field to deal
he still
with
doesn't have his stim, so you've got to be careful. He's splitting up, but there's no banelings on the map, so the split's actually going to work against him here.
Yeah, well, he's going to clear up most of the Lings, but he's actually going to lose everything else. Tanks and medevacs. He needs to at least try and save the medevacs. Oh, he loses one. Probably will lose the second one once the boost runs out. Not the greatest push for Jabito. That went really well for TMK.
Yeah, he's up by 20 supply now. Does he have his Baneling Nest here? No, he doesn't have a Baneling Nest yet. He's mutiling at the moment, but Mutila's coming in looking to get some more damage done. Jabito always seems to have a little good clump of Marines back at home, even though he pushes out with pretty much all of his army, so not rallying across, so making good advantage of that. But Baneling Nest finally coming down here for TMK, and back at home here for Jabito once again. He's got plenty of barracks to help him out there with that Marine production, of course. Needs a couple more turrets because those Mulas are still threatening. But yeah, he's just kind of playing out the bio, trying to do what he can. A 3rd base is in sights once again for him here as he is starting to mine out.
Yeah, and 4th base coming down for TMK at the same time. So I think a couple of drops would go down really well, especially if he was able to do that while he's pushing, because I think trying to pull Emperor apart is going to be the best way to kill him, really. Kind of sucks though, because he doesn't really have medevacs to spare for that. He's only got 3 total, having lost the first 3 or 4 that he made. It's
been quite a scrappy game, so they've been thrown off what they're usually used to, and they're trying to fight each other back, so it's going to be the one who can play their way out of a scrappy game better here. And Jabito going for quite a large drop play over here on the left hand side of the map. We're going to put pressure on this 3rd base.
Yeah, that's one way to go about it. I feel like TMK is very scared of Jabito because he keeps pumping out units despite not having his 3 bases saturated yet. Either that or he's looking to go for some sort of 2.5 base timing or something, but that seems like an odd idea if you've got a 4th base out already. But well, Jabito does make it across the map. If the stim goes off, the siege tank comes in, but Zerg is here to meet him at the very last second. Will he actually be able to clean this up?
He does trade really well against those Lings for a while there. Loses one of the Medivacs, but thankfully it was empty. But he does have to drop the rest of these Marines off to try and trade the best he can here. But he will get cleaned up. Jabito turns tails and runs away. But TMK up 30 supply. He's looking to go across the map here. Bailing speed almost done for him too.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Jabito's tried to put on a fair chunk of aggression. I think the first attack was really the big mistake because he didn't have stim yet. And now he's really struggling to kind of keep a presence on the map and have an army at the same time because all in all, TMK's defense is being quite good.
Yeah, very much so. And Jabito himself, his defense is being pretty good. He's tightened up a lot. We can see TMK just trying to find openings here, but Jabito always having a decent sized army back at home to keep him up and going.
Yep.
Oh, 3 fresh mules in this mineral line.
Oh, he's going to gobble them up very quickly. Marines trying to stim and grab a couple of his mutas, but not really having any luck there. And they do get out. So back to mining on this base. He needs to drop a couple of turrets here to stop that from happening. He only has a small clump of units, and to stretch that across 3 bases, it's going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah, and we see TMK, up on those 4 bases, can transfer drones here and there, but it's still very low economy here. They're both on 47 workers. But, I mean, the saturation is good there for Jabito for his income at the moment, but we'll need to look into a 4th base here soon, as 15 minutes into the game, and all those bases looking so grim. The natural base is almost gone, the main is basically gone.
Yeah. That 3rd base is pretty much it. And I think Jabito's realized that he's heading out with yet another small push. Against this many mutas, it's so hard to actually make something happen. He's always going to be able to take counter damage, but TMK is making a really solid effort at making sure that any time Jabito tries to do anything, he's really going to pay for it. So 4th base will go down. That's a start, but he's going to need a bit more than that.
Yeah, both players +1 attack here. Tank is ready for this attack, but he is very well set up here off the creep. So TMK got to think twice about fighting into this, but he is going to come down here. Jabito not quite watching just yet, but man, oh wow, this Bane's cleaned up pretty much everything. Marauders in the front, going to tank the last couple of meters there, but there's no Marines on the floor to take down these Mutalisks, and Jabito once again forced away.
Yeah, he is still very far down in supply. Starting to slowly close that gap though. He just can't really keep a big enough army together. He needs some Thors. I think that would make it a lot easier against these mutas, but
he does have one about to pop.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Alright, that's so many Mutalisks. So how many does he have on the field? 23 Mutalisks are out, and he's going into Ultralisk behind this as well. This 4th base is not long for this world here for Jabito. Will get cancelled.
Yeah, I think maybe with a couple more Thors and more of a ground army, if you can afford to do so, he'll start to look okay against this kind of army, even with the Ultras in there, because they still... Actually, what is the ground army upgrades at?
Just +1.
+1, yeah. So the Ultras are going to be beefy, but... They're not, oh, actually, it doesn't even have the +1 carapace.
No,
okay.
He's only just started that one up. So these Ultras, yeah. Plus, I mean, 4 armor at this stage is still really good. I mean, Ultras back in HOTS were 5 with full upgrades.
Yeah, I was actually wondering how he's still alive, but that explains a little bit. If he's skipping on the upgrades, then that makes it a little bit easier for Jabito to actually be maneuvering against this sort of army, because...
that was
that Thor drop. Nice.
Another Thor about to pop out from here as well. I can hear buildings on fire, reactor about to die actually. Looks like he's trying to rush over to repair it. Couple more health left on it, but he does save it. But at the moment, TMK just going back home, rethinking his economy as he goes up to his another 5th base here, but hasn't taken down the rocks though, so you've got to be careful about this base.
Yeah, still 45 drones to 46 SCVs, so despite the solid effort from TMK to keep doing damage to Jabito, he's always been able to recover it to at least an even footing in the economy game. So, that thought as he comes in to engage his army once again, he sees the Ultras, he's marking back against them. He probably notices that they're a bit squishy. The Muta's taking some huge hits from the Thors though. That may be what he needs, but can he get rid of these Ultras?
Oh man, they're so strong even with just a +4 and no carry base. Look how much they just tore through that army. He's even lost his 4th base, and TMK takes the 2nd map, and we're going to our first 3rd map of the day here, Zeph.
That's it. Finally, a non-2-0. Woo! Jabito and TMK looking a lot more evenly matched in that game. Could you believe that opened with a Nidus?
Very well did.
It looked like he killed him very early on, but credit to Jabito holding on that long, I guess.
Yeah, he did really good work. Oh, sorry. His defense was really good for a very long time, and he just had counterattack right as TMK was trying to go from really devastating harassment and really forcing just TMK to go home with his Mutalisk. And that just bought him so much time back at home to get more infrastructure up and going, and even killing bases here and there with his harassment just kind of really kept Jabito in the game.
Yeah. He did a great job. The meter harass was really, really good. Like I think that's his greatest strength as a player. So, you know, we'll see what the 3rd map is, but perhaps he can abuse that as his strength again in the 3rd game and seal out the series. That doesn't really make sense, but I'm gonna roll with it. Whatever, man.
It's alright. We have those moments, but yeah.
Damn right, it's alright. Leave me alone. How long have we been talking? 3 hours? Come on, man.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, and we're just waiting for an invite for this lobby here, as they're both in the game. So I'm really happening to see what is this 3rd map is going to be. It's going to be Bridgehead.
Cool. All right, Bridgehead it is. We'll hop into that in just a sec. While we're getting that game underway, guys, it's worth mentioning also the Group A results. Players heading into the playoffs. So Ender and Lobo and Demi are the 3 players that will be advancing to the playoffs from Group A. At the moment, we are looking at which players are going to make it in through Group B. So the top 2 from each group gets headed into the upper bracket, and then the 3rd place player starts off in the losers bracket for the playoffs, which should be on next Sunday, next weekend, 25th of October. Sea time, I guess. I'm sure there's like some Europeans and some Americans up at the moment, which makes it really confusing to convert to all those time zones. But yes.
Yeah, this has been a very long tournament, guys. If you haven't been keeping up with it, this tournament has been going for quite some time. I believe the first tournament, the first qualifier. Oh, how long ago was that now? I gotta find this now.
August 23rd.
August 23rd. That's 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a tournament in the making, and we're still nearing the climax of it. Like, we're not even in the playoff stage yet.
Absolutely, and it's also, you know, I think finals may be separate as well, so there could yet be another week after this. So it's been great so far, and we're in game number 3, the first one of the day here on Bridgehead. And in the top left, in the teal, can he do it? Can he get the 2-1? This is TMK.
And down in the bottom right side of the map, we have the purple Terran from the Philippines. It is Jabito.
What does he do, man?
What does he do?
How does he kill the Mutaflock?
I'd like to see Liberators, because those are quite good against the Mutalisk.
I feel like we've just been giving, like, well, me especially, just been giving, like, the Liberators a lap dance the whole cast. Like, I want to see Liberators are awesome.
They're so strong.
Yeah, it's just, we've only ever kind of seen them when it's already too late, you know, like when someone's in their death throes or something like that. So it kind of sucks, but we'll see if it happens this game. I mean, Jabito seems to be very keen on the tank drop, and he could do it just about on any map, so could be a repeat of that strat yet again.
Yeah, changing it up a little bit here though.
Yes, he has.
Going for a bit of a CC first, and this is what he went for on Orbital Shipyard, and that was his successful build. So we see if he will go for that same build once again here, the one that basically got him in there. But he went double gas last time, and this is just a single gas. So it'd be interesting to see what he's going to invest this gas into early on here. Back on the other side though, here for TMK, just going for your standard hatch pool gas.
Yep. See how this evolves. I think I actually wonder if he's going to do his two-base muter again, because I feel like Jabito's early game is stronger just purely because of how TMK approaches the two-base muter build. You know, like he makes a bunch of lings and they haven't really been able to do much yet. But although that said, he did go for the Nidus last game. That's right. So
yeah,
we'll see what he rolls with.
Interesting here from Jabito. Goes to the CC first and goes into a Reaper still. So he really wants to scout without having to use a scan. So I do like the late Reaper just because it can sneak up there. It does have a leap up spot, and it is only really that one leap up spot there. There's a ramp in the leap up, and otherwise there's just no other way into the base. So this Reaper, got to be careful when it does head across the map.
Yes. Well, SUV gonna walk on in, have a bit of a look-see. Preemptive look-see. The Queen probably get it on the way out. Actually, there's one in the natural, so it will go down. Wow. But whoa, super greed.
He's gonna. Did he actually get a whiff of that third base coming down, and that's what got in? No, but he will see this third base come down really, and he's like, all right, this is how commensurate I can do. And he's going to be happy about that one. He's going to disrupt the mining a little bit here with a little grenade bomb. Gets in there, damages a bunch of the drones. He's going to try and pick one off here. Can he get it? Oh, so close. 1 health remaining on it. But almost 1 health remaining left on that Reaper too. So, got to be careful there, Jabito.
Yeah. Well, he lives to see another day for the moment. And in the meantime, Jabito just starting to get some of them production facilities up and running so he can squeeze out some units. Maybe get a bit of pressure going on to his opponent, especially now that he's seen, oh, you have a third hatchery already, you know, like you're kind of beating my greed with greed, so wants to make sure he keeps on top of that, because who knows what Emperor's going to do. Lair is almost finished, so we'll see if he drops that Spire right away or if he's got something else planned. He's actually a little bit short on the gas if he wants to go straight into Spire. Let's see what tech he does choose.
Yeah, a bunch of Lings heading across the map and a Bane list almost complete. So I was looking like there could have been a bit of Ling Bane pressure coming in here, but a second Bane Ling nest has gone down. I think he didn't know he made the first one, so hopefully he catches on to that one.
Cancel, make a Spire, do it, do not do it. Hopefully he'll realize. It always sucks when you like look back at your base and you're like, why do I have 2 Hydra Dens? And you just kind of got to roll with it.
Yeah. And I'm still getting used to like this new time as well, and just seeing like, oh man, like 4:30 Baneling speed on the way. That's so quick, but then just like, oh, it's real time, and then the economy, of course, that you start up on. But he is going for the aggression here. Lings streaming across the map for him, and Jabito might get caught with his bandstand here. He does have a Widow Mine available to him, so he's got to really hope for the hit of the century there. But it's so far, it's back to a point where it's not going to hit the Banelings until they're actually on top of the buildings here, on top of the ramp. So these Banelings are going to get their hit off regardless. Oh wow.
And he gets the last hit on that one remaining Baneling as well.
Jabito supply blocked.
Oh, he is too. I was wondering why he only has 2 Marines. Looks like SCVs and these Marines from the back rock's going to have to come up and defend. He ideally would like to block that off before the rest of the Marines... rest of the Lings can get up here, but
he needs 2 more supply depots now. He lost the rocks there on the right side of the ramp, so he's going to take a little while to wall that back off if he wants to, but SCVs and Marines going to have to do their best here. Oh no, the Widow Mine, a bit of friendly fire there, but those speed Banelings are coming in and they're threatening.
Oh, what a great build from TMK. He's really giving Jabito a run for his money. And all the Marines are going to go down. Only SCVs left to fight with, and there's more and more coming across the map from the 3-base Zerg. What an insane build from TMK. This is great. 3-base Baneling bust. I can't remember the last time I saw this.
Yeah, there's still a lot of Marines on the dance floor though. So you're still going to be... Oh wow, there's Banelings. I didn't see them morphing in, but a good Widow Mine shot there forces TMK away for now. But do remember, we do have Jabito here on 3 command centers. He's going to keep that barracks alive. But man, the pressure can still mount here, of course, from TMK. Spire has gone down behind this. It looks like he wants to keep threatening this. More Ling Bane coming across the map. 10 more Banes in production. Going to try and work on these back rocks, but Jabito does have vision. Actually, no. He doesn't quite have the vision that he wants to see these Lings attacking these rocks in the back play.
That's rough. It's going to be really hard to live from here on out, especially when he's got a small force that he has to kind of juggle between. the natural in the main. Yeah, okay, he will be able to clean that up. I think he might stabilize from here. He did get pretty far down in SCVs. It was like 25 to 40. Now we're looking 29 SCVs to 52 drones. The mutas are going to be the killer again, I feel, though, because while he does have an army, while he is reproducing SCVs and he's tucked away in his base, how is he ever going to take a third base?
It's going to be very difficult for sure, and I think he needs to drop a scan soon. I mean, he does have 3 command centers, he does need his mules, but he's got scan energy, and he needs to see what is the follow-up here, and if he gets a scan off in the main, he's going to see all the tech. He's going to see the 2 bailing this. That 1 didn't get cancelled, but 2's better than 1. Oh.
That's it, man. Still... Man, some of these buildings look so beaten up. I'm just like, oh gosh. I can feel like it's just gonna get busted or taken out by mutas very quickly. This drop, not able to get too much done. I think he picks up, oh, never mind, only 1 kill. But the second drop may be able to get a little bit more going, and this is what he needs to recover his losses in this game so far. He sees the mutas now. Should hopefully prepare for these at home. Maybe if he's lucky, he can get out with that medevac too. Yeah,
that's a bunch of supply he had to spend there on those drops, and medevac's going to be a cost of this as well, and that's something he doesn't need, as he's coming across the map now with more mutas, lings, and banelings, and 40 supply up right now, wanting to go and bust down this back door, but there's a CC moving out there. This is where Jabito wants to take his expansion, and this is not going to work out well for him.
No, it's not. This is a lot of Zerg units coming in towards this Terran army. The Zerg actually having a bit of trouble breaking the front lines with the Marauder and Tanker sitting, so Jabito doing a great job at taking out a lot of this army, but there's just that little bit too much left over for TMK. Yeah, and now he's into the mineral lines, more SCVs going down, the reinforcements streaming across the map once again. This is like a repeat of earlier on, round 2.
Yeah, Mutalisk this time going to be the killing blow. Bailing is morphing in the face here of Jabito as another big round of lings coming into here to help out. Mutalisk can take on these very low Marine Cats. 41 supply is what Jabito is currently on, and that is less than half of what TMK has got rolling himself, and this is looking like GG. There it is, Jabito defeated as TMK takes a series 2-1.
Wow.